Okay, so I wrote this because we've got family in Spokane, Washington, near where some of the fires are. So I didn't like some of there are programs out there that monitor various things like fire and whatnot, but I didn't like some of the features you had to pay into, like even just wind direction and stuff like that. And so it didn't quite do what I wanted it to do, and I wanted to check on make sure that my daughter and her husband were doing okay and out of harm's way. 3.3 miles is a little bit too close for comfort. Um, but so I wrote this program. You basically define a radius, and if there's a fire within that radius, then you'll get an email alert. If you set the PIN and password and whatnot, you can do that through tools. There's a whole bunch of stuff to select, uh, and basically you set a PIN. You set your different layers that you want to show. There's a radar layer, shows precipitation. Uh, let's see, let's turn that back off. So what will happen is like if I go to back to this view, if I log out and log back in, it'll remember my settings. Even if I pan the screen over, I refresh, come back later, it remembers where I left off. So instead of having to hunt and pack and try to find everything all again, and just the way you left it. If you right click on the mouse to anywhere on the map, it'll show you what the distance is as the bird flies to that particular location. That's just kind of a bells and whistles that I added. Um, so the fires have calmed down quite a bit. This perimeter area, what you see here, is the area that has been damaged due to fire. There's looks like there's only one active hotspot right now, maybe two. If I go over here, there's a larger fire, or there was up here. There's still a couple of hot spots, but for the most part, it looks like they've got it pretty much under control. Um, so the wind direction arrows basically are just kind of help you out as far as which direction the wind is blowing in your immediate area. Uh, let's see. There's some indicators down here. This north south here. This is not your actual compass. This basically tells you the direction of the closest fire to you. So if I take I gotta zoom in to grab it here. If I take this and I move it, you see the arrow changed a little bit because the direction, basically the compass lines up with this flight line that points you to the closest fire. Now, say I moved it within the radius, so I'll probably try to be sending me an email because, like I said, the fire has been detected now, or I've moved, and it's within the radius that I defined. And you can define that radius under Tools up here. I've got it set to 3 miles, even though that's really, really close. But there's another gauge here. This basically combines the direction where the fire is and the direction of the wind. Say, for instance, if the wind is blowing towards the fire, this would be 0% and green because the wind is blowing uh, towards the fire, and so it's not your chance of embers coming your direction are a lot slim, a lot more slim than if it were the other way around. If the wind was blowing towards you from the fire, then this would be like 100% in red. This indicator right here is the amount of energy that's in the fire that's produced. This is showing 1.1 megawatts of energy that is being produced from this one little fire. This green dot here is basically your current wind speed at your location, 4 miles per hour. This is the air quality. You've got air quality, tells you what the air quality is. Here's the speed, the wind speed. This is the fire intensity from the local sources that monitor the fires. This kind of explains as far as the wind-fire alignment that I was describing earlier, as far as the direction of the wind versus the direction of the fire, and your assessment or your danger. The best scenario is that when this is zero, closer to zero, as far as the chances of embers from the fire coming your direction. That's really what that indicator is. And with a low wind speed, that's ideal too. Anything between 0 and 10 is considered like a green area. 10 to 15 is caution. Anything higher than 15 is you really need to be on alert. So this is really just a situational awareness program uh, with a few bells and whistles. That, like I said, the other programs that they've got out there, it was stupid because you got to pay into something just as simple as wind direction, and that for a fire that's kind of an important factor to know. And so I just kind of wanted to put all these together in one nice little group. It works well with a phone too. All of these tabs, looking at a phone or across the bottom, and your map is centered. This just happens to be on a PC. It works either way. With a phone, you don't have the option to do your flight line as far as it telling you the distance. Uh, but that's about the only thing that is different. So, all right, just wanted to share. Thanks.